Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my husband Matt here again as Matt, not as a French painter.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking about Jean-Claude Pierre,
Gustave, yeah.
Yeah, he got sent back to France for writing bad checks.
So sad. So today we are going to be doing kind of a get to know us, reliving our love story in a way. So are you ready?
Sure.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take turns. So I'll ask Matt a question and then he will ask me a question. And on some questions we might want to weigh in, like both of our opinions.
Okay.
It just will depend on the question. All right. Where and when did we first meet?
Where and when did we first meet? Like in person?
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, I picked you up at the Lewis and Brown dormitory at HLG in my truck.
Rip.
Yep. And I had like a whole spiel planned in advance because Anna had told me that she told a joke and somebody overreacted to the joke. Like the joke deserved maybe a ha ha. That's very humorous, but what she got was somebody rolling on the floor laughing. I think the individual was trying to make a positive impression on her, but it actually kind of weirded her out and maybe embarrassed her a little bit.
A lot.
And so I told her, I said, hey, if you have any hilarious jokes that you want to tell me that would cause me to convulsively roll on the floor laughing, get them out of your system now. I don't want to embarrass you in public.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, oh yeah, I got it out. I didn't stutter on it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And so it got her talking too, because I can talk a lot. And so I wanted to make sure that she was talking more than me. So mission success.
Yeah, for sure.
Where was our first date?
Our first date was at a coffee shop here in downtown Hannibal, Java Jive. Our first Christmas that we spent together, I saw these like night sky where I don't remember the exact name of the website, but you could go in and enter the coordinates of something that is meaningful. You could put in like the birth of like where your child was born, where you guys met, where you got married. And so I got a map of the night sky of what Hannibal looked like on the night Matt and I met. And so that's hanging up in our living room.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What was your first impression of me?
I thought you were beautiful. Oh. I thought you were really pretty, and I loved your smile. But it was like a lot of physical things. Like I thought you were like really attractive, obviously, and you listened to me. And when you listened to me, you like really, I felt like you were being really intentional. Like, you know, there's a difference between somebody just waiting to get a word in and somebody who's really taking in what you're saying. Yeah. So I definitely noticed that. Like right now, you're doing it. So
I mean, thanks.
Yeah. I am not as good at listening as Anna is. What was your first impression of me? I'm just going to reciprocate that question.
Okay, so this is kind of a weird first impression. So, not in like a bad way. I went out to your truck when you came and picked me up, and you know how the handle was jank. And so you'd have to lean over and open it.
Yes.
And so I remember looking, like I walked out and I like knocked on the window and you were on your phone and you looked up and we like made eye contact. And I remember thinking, if I got to look in those eyes for the rest of my life, I would be happy. And as soon as I thought that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just a first date. You need to calm down.
Yeah, 4 years later.
But I remember thinking that because like it was a moment that like time kind of stopped, which sounds like super corny and cheesy. Like
we're all about corny cliches in this house.
But I remember like it just felt like time froze for a second, and I was like I did like the anime gasp. And then he opened the door and you're like, hey, I'm Matt. And I don't know why, but the voice that I pictured that would be your voice it did not match up. But in like a good way. Like, I don't know. I expected you to have this like really deep voice. I almost expected you to have your dad's voice.
Oh, yeah?
And you have a much higher voice.
Yeah.
And so that like was a pleasant surprise. I was like, oh.
Well, I'm glad that...
I guess I could listen to him talk forever, too.
I'm glad that you were pleased by the pitch of my voice. When did you meet my family?
I met them... I met your parents the weekend of my show. I was in a musical, Fiddler on the Roof, in 2016, in April of 2016.
Do you love me?
And
I was not in the musical because I am not very good.
But you came to all the rehearsals because that's when we were first dating. Yeah, and I remember I met your parents. They picked me up. You guys all picked me up, and we went out to breakfast.
Yeah.
And your mom took our first picture together because I was so nervous. And your mom goes, "Oh, I know every girl wants to have a picture," and I was like, I like her.
Yeah, I'm not big into taking pictures of myself with other people even.
Yeah.
So my profile picture is from our wedding day, which was
it really is.
which was in 2018.
That's really funny.
Yep.
And then I met the rest of your family the weekend of Mother's Day that year because we went down for a weekend, and that's when I met your sister and your sister-in-law and your brother.
Yes.
And
great first impressions.
It was a great
all
around. Yeah, I had a good time.
I feel like we're pretty good. My family's pretty good at putting people at ease.
They are.
Yeah.
They're like, I immediately felt like I was one of them.
And it's the same with your family, though.
Yeah.
Too.
So when did you meet my family?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think. Maybe was it the first? Was it like on a holiday, like maybe Christmas or?
It was the same weekend. I met your parents.
Oh, it was. They came to see Fiddler on the roof.
And like I remember I introduced you guys after.
That's right.
And I don't know if we ever like went out to eat.
Yeah.
Together. I don't
think so.
I don't
Not
think we
with
did.
both sides. But
no, I'm saying like if we took you out to eat.
Oh, I don't think so. Because it was pretty late
remember.
after the show. But I hit it off with your parents and brother.
And I remember our dads talked.
Yes, they did.
They
about
talked
history.
About history. Yeah.
Yeah, because they both have that common interest.
Yeah, they're both history buffs.
I mean, same. Who said I love you first?
You did.
Yes, I did. In a letter that I wrote to you. She was on her way to Switzerland.
Germany.
Well, but you were going to go to Switzerland
to
eventually.
Switzerland, yeah.
Switzerland by way of Germany. And when I told her the night before I gave her the letter that she was only to read it when she was in the air, because that was very strategic. Because I was telling her I loved her in the letter, and if she didn't love me back, I wanted her to have at least 9 hours with no cell phone service to really think it over. And if she did love me, the contrast of that would be that you had 9 hours to like think about why you didn't love me. So it was kind of a risky move, but it worked out in the end. Yeah,
it did. I still have that letter. It's in my Bible.
Aww.
It's in the front of my Bible. That, and then
it's the least important thing in your Bible.
That's true. I have a lot of keepsakes in my Bible.
No, it's cool.
Like I have name tags from old camps I used to be counselors at.
But it doesn't compare to the other stuff, right?
In the Bible, no. What dressing do I always wear? Does that mean salad dressing?
It's just a really weirdly put phrase.
Or like, what do I always wear?
If you were a cartoon character,
I can tell you.
What would your cartoon character wear in every episode?
Oh, are you asking me that?
That's a better question.
I think so too.
Than the dressing question.
What dressing? Nobody cares. I don't eat salad anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were a cartoon character, what would your like everyday outfit be like?
Yeah.
Let's both answer
like
that. That's fun.
Arnold always wears a kilt. Same. I would probably wear some sort of Henley shirt.
That's like your phase right now.
I'm in a phase.
Yeah, your clothing kind of goes through phases because sometimes you'll wear like you wore V-necks, only like solid color V-necks for a while, and then it was stripes, and that was partly because of me because I bought it for you.
Yes.
I only bought you striped shirts.
I like a nice sweater.
Yeah, that's like fall and winter. It's either a flannel or a sweater.
I like a good pair of khaki pants and some leather boots or shoes. Not boots.
Like Clarks.
Like nice shoes that aren't too dressy, but I did wear them on my wedding day.
Or Vans.
Those are the only two shoes I wear, unless I'm like mowing and then I wear Nikes.
Okay, for me in the summer, I stay at home with our son Atticus, and so I have to wear clothing that's like flexible because I am all over the place with him. He is all over the place, and so I have to wear something that I can just grab him. And so right now I wear basketball shorts that I'm pretty sure are yours, but they're really comfortable.
Oh, I'm looking for that.
And then I wear like, it's a Bella Canvas t-shirt. It's either one of our church t-shirts or it's a t-shirt I got from like a camp I did back in 2014 or like a Disney inspired t-shirt because I love a lot of Disney small shops, and so I have a lot of those shirts. And then I will either wear a St. Louis Cardinal sweatshirt.
There you go.
Or a sweatshirt from our church.
I feel like you wear a lot of pretty floral blouses and shirts.
Yeah, if we're going out or if we're going to like if I'm doing something that isn't just staying at home all day with Atticus, then I'll wear like jeggings and a flowy floral shirt.
Yeah, you have very good taste.
Thank you. What I often do in my free time.
What do you often do in your free time? You really like looking up funny or cute videos and texting them to me.
I do, on TikTok.
You enjoy reading books. And you enjoy editing videos.
I do.
And looking up things about your business. That's like both work and it's also something you enjoy.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing that.
And you like watching America's Next Top Model on like cycling through each season.
What you like to do in your free time, you like to read a lot. Either a book or you like to read articles
Lots of
about
articles.
Movies, video games, baseball,
current events.
You read literally anything. And then you like to mod video games now. And then you have like certain movies that you'll want to watch or like TV shows. Like we'll be in a phase and we'll watch that. So we just we're like in the middle of our Lord of the Rings phase right now. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
How long have we been together?
Since January of 2016, I would say, because that's when we went on our first date. We became official that March. And we got engaged in 2017 in July. And then we got married in January of 2018.
Yeah, we got married 2 years to the day after our first
depending on how you look at it. Married for almost 3 years, 2.5 years. And dating for almost 5 years.
Yeah, it will be 5 years in January.
What was our first road trip?
Our first road trip was to see your family. It was that Mother's Day.
And it's about a 3-hour drive, so it's a lot of opportunity to talk and stuff.
Yeah, do you remember what happened on the way back? It stormed.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so it stormed. I'm really freaked out by thunderstorms. And
I know that, but I don't remember the specific instance.
Right. We were on our way back, and I remember like the windows kept fogging up, and it was pouring, and you were doing anything to just make me comfortable because I'm sitting there like just shaking. Yeah. And I remember you got your pillow for me because you're like, why don't you just close your eyes and maybe you'll fall asleep. By the time you wake up, we'll be back to Hannibal. You gave me your hoodie. You're like, do you need something to eat? Oh yeah. And it was just like super touching because you were taking such good care of me because you knew how freaked out I was. And that's like a core memory for me.
I do now remember giving you the hoodie. I remember that
because then it became mine.
Yeah, and until we got married, and then I took it back.
It's still mine.
What am I good at?
Okay, you're really good at like campaigning, which I know that's a big part of your personality, but you're really good at it. Like if there is something, you're a good leader in that sense because you find a cause to rally behind and then you get other people to be passionate about that. And so it could be anything from like important things like Jesus to things like movies or video games. And I know that like zeal is really contagious because you'll come in and you'll tell me something like I do not care about at all. Like I do not want to hear about it. And you talk about it, and I'm like, oh, that is interesting. Yeah. And so therefore I've gotten like new interests and new hobbies because of that. Just because you're very expressive, you're very charismatic. And so you're really good at campaigning for things.
I like when people share in my joy.
Yes.
So.
Yes. What am I good at?
What are you good at? You are really good at being empathetic and listening. You're a really good mom.
Thanks.
And I think you're really good at creating content for your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, because like, being on social media, you see like a lot of different types of people trying to promote content, content creators and stuff. And I think for being more new to it, you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're also really good at giving gifts.
I do love to give gifts.
You give the most sentimental and sweet.
I put a lot of thought into it. Gifts are my love language, like both receiving and giving, and so I love giving gifts.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing somebody else enjoy it. Favorite feature about each other? For me, the last question bleeds into this one because I love like your zeal and I love your enthusiasm and I love how passionate you get about things. Like from something as, I mean, we don't think it's insignificant, but like there are little moments in Hamilton, like that's something that we've recently watched that you will call out to me, and I love that you appreciate the arts in that way, and I love like your attention to detail in cinema and fiction, and so I think that that's probably one of my favorite features.
Yeah, I love how good of a mom you are.
Thank you.
And it started obviously before Atticus was born. Like the little things that you would do to take care of yourself that by proxy took care of him, and then it like really like, I wouldn't say it peaked, but I really noticed it obviously when you gave birth, because it was like the most like selfless act I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I just gained like a lot of respect for you on that day. I already respected you before, but just what you went through just to bring him into the world and how you sacrificed your body. And then afterwards, like the follow-up of just being consistent with him and being patient and being a good mom and not being perfect by any means, because nobody is, but being quick to apologize and ask for forgiveness, and you're just a really good mom. That's definitely my favorite thing about you.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
It's true.
I'm also glad you remember me giving birth because I don't.
Yeah, it's probably just a blur to you.
I do not remember it.
Yeah.
I know I was
similar
there.
To how I don't remember the storm thing.
Probably. All right. Do I have any weird obsessions?
Yeah, America's Next Top Model, which we just mentioned.
I love it.
I have a bunch, so you can go ahead and just list them.
He goes through phases, is what we call it, and which I love. Like I never know what's going to come next, and so but there are some that are constant. And the Westerns one, Japanese ninja.
Yeah, like I have a fascination with like Japanese history.
Yeah, you do.
Culture and stuff. So I love reading like novels about samurai.
And then there are like Stephen King is always a like an obsession. Like you love his books. I wouldn't call that an obsession.
No, there's several of his books that are like in my top 20.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's a lot of them I don't like too.
And then I remember you went through a Lovecraft. Yeah,
I'm always into like cosmic horror as a genre in general, like in movies like The Thing,
Stranger
and
Things.
Alien, Stranger Things, and also like H.P. Lovecraft, some of H.P. Lovecraft's writings, which are like influencing those kind of things. I really like.
And I mean, some of them influenced Stephen King's writings as well.
For sure, like it.
Yeah. And I know about these things because Matt talks about them, and so I know more. You're always learning, and therefore I am too, and I really appreciate it. What is my favorite restaurant?
Oh, that's easy. Chick-fil-A.
Easy.
Yeah, what's mine?
Gosh. Again, it's like the phases thing.
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite restaurant. It's really hard to say.
It's what you're in the mood for.
Probably there's this Mexican restaurant in my hometown called El Tapatio.
Yeah, you love El Tap.
That's probably my favorite restaurant. Complete this sentence. You're my...
best friend. I'll sing the song.
You're my... I don't want to be too cheesy with it.
I mean, you can.
So, in season 3 of Sherlock, which is sort of like a maligned season by fans of Sherlock Holmes, but I like it. It was way better than what happened in season 4. But there's this moment where the character of Watson finds out about the past of his fiance, and it's like a really sordid past. I won't spoil it, but he has every right to judge her and hold it against her and everything, and she feels like he's going to. And so she comes to him, and she's just in shame, and she knows that she doesn't deserve him anymore. But he looks to her and he says, the past is your I think he says the past is your business, but your future is my privilege.
Aw.
So I would say that you're my privilege.
Oh.
Like, I'm privileged to have you as my wife, and I don't deserve you, and but that is kind of cheesy. So
I think it's sweet.
You're my wife.
Here, let me rethink this one.
You're my friend. That's what you said.
You're my best friend. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed getting to know us better. I know I enjoyed reliving some of our relationship and reminiscing on some fun memories.
Same.
So be sure to tune in next week because we have a new video series coming up called The Best Show You've Never Heard of. And we like a lot of TV shows that are a bit obscure, and we want to campaign as MacLeod. So be sure to subscribe for that video and for more content like this. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And you can follow us on Instagram as well at Our Classic Beauty. And we can't wait to see you guys next week.